Well, thank you for attending. We'll get this party started. That way, whatever the next meeting may be, will be good. Hopefully everyone can see my sponsor slide here. It's from my previous presentation. But I do want to obviously thank them for helping support this year's conference. I know, like I've shared in every session that I've been involved in, it's a record high. So that's a great thing, and that's because it's free. I guess it's easy to attend as well, but because of these guys, we were able to make it free. So I'll go ahead and exit out of this. I will say, I think I've got this on the actual slide, but follow us on social media. We'll jump to that. So what we've got here, this is the Communications Committee Roundtable. We have a couple committee members present in today's. A couple of them might be hopping on late. I know we've also had some ice and power issues as well, which is kind of resulting in possibly one not being able to attend. But thanks for participating. My name is Daniel Frogel, Emporia State University. I am the chair of the committee because as I'm also the state of Kansas state leader. So Matt Beck, this was probably May, looked at expanding the number of committees. And Region 4 was one of the only regions that did not have their own communications committee. And I think that may have previously deterred proper promotion for regional activities and other items like that, region-specific content, actions like that. So without jumping into any more of what we've maybe completed in the past half year, I'll let everyone else introduce themselves, where they're working at, what their position is. Go ahead. Yeah. Belinda, I think you can go next if you'd like.
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. My name is Belinda Sanchez, and I am the Graduate Assistant of Fitness and Wellbeing at Texas A&M Commerce.
I'm Joanna Valencia, the Assistant Director of Fitness and Wellness at Texas Tech University.
Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Chance, and the Senior Coordinator of Operations with the University of Kansas. I use pronouns he, him, his.
Yeah, myself as well. I apologize for not sharing that. Anna, I don't see her on quite yet. She is from Texas A&M University, Fitness Assistant Director. Is that right, Joanna? I know you have Belinda.
She's the Fitness Director for
Okay.
Texas A&M.
Cool. And then Britton Line is coming from Oklahoma State. He's the individual that they're having some major ice issues down there in Stillwater, it sounds like. So this is the ragtag bunch, as if you may say, that works. I like to say works hard and gets things going communication wise for the region. So prior to this, we all kind of scratched our head. What are we going to do? And we will. I promise this will be a very discussion based roundtable. But I do believe some background info on kind of what our committee's goals are, what we have already accomplished, and what we're trying to continue doing is going to be important for you guys to know. So our main goal is to really communicate, promote activities, programs, events within the region. Before this, we didn't even have a regional Facebook page, so if that shows the level of communication, social media wise and other items like that previously, this was really used to beef this up and really get content out there. With that, there has also been, like I said, I think there's 6, 7 other committees developed. I could be wrong on that streamline number, but we are just supposed to promote what they've got, assist them when it comes to getting their content out, streamline the social media. Obviously, we're all on our phones quite often, connecting with other Region 4 members. And then lastly, we added highlighting Region 4 professionals. We've seen with Campus Rec Mag or maybe at the NERSA national level, a lot of people get highlighted, but we also took it upon ourselves. Maybe we don't highlight those smaller programs that may not be as involved in NERSA and trying to get them moving or shown to the rest of the region a little bit more, because they are doing some great things. So what we have accomplished so far, like I said, we did implement the new Region 4 Facebook, multiple conversation series. Jeremy presented on the COVID conversation series this morning. Hispanic Heritage Month came from Belinda. as we actually just wrapped that up a week ago. Yep, and we did our first Facebook Live event with that. And then Joanna, who's also part of it, all three of the series have now been implemented by those in attendance. Joanna wanted to do a Live Well with NERSA Region 4, and that has gone over extremely well on our platforms. It's received a lot of views, a lot of positive feedback. So previously, I think we shared like 15, 20 photos a year on Instagram. And that just wasn't quite cutting it. So we've already tripled content from the entire 19 to 20 school year, highlighting at least one student, one professional, and one department each month, and then have shared jobs within the region. I think that's another area. Every job might get posted on Bluefish, but really emphasizing what's going on within our region. So that was very quick. Committee members, do you guys have anything else to add, maybe that we've accomplished so far? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I mean, the one thing I'll say from the highlights perspective, I think we kind of streamlined the way we gather that information too. So just created a couple. The committee will laugh, but I'm the king of the form. So it's Google Form or Microsoft Form. So just creating really simple forms to gather that information that I can then use to write those features. Joanna and Anna and even Britton doing the social media stuff can kind of grab stuff from that. So I think streamlining those processes to gather as much of that information and then pump that out across our platforms, I think I would call that an accomplishment and a success.
Yeah, 100%. Nothing that has been established previously, so it's helped us speed up that process. So I already did talk about our social media. For those of you that have not already followed it, I know Matt had it on the welcome session, and we probably got more followers that day than we have in any single day previously. So Twitter should be Region IV. It looks like it got cut off. But yeah, go hit that follow button for all those accounts. Honestly, if you just search NERSA Region 4, it'll pop up. So with that said, and I don't know if everyone has access to turn off their cameras or turn on their cameras. If you'd like, this, like I said, will be very discussion based. We'd like to see who you are, gain your perspectives, your experiences, your ideas. I've got my notepad ready. My pen is nice and warm, so we'll be jotting down some notes and then possibly implementing some of those ideas into future communications. So what questions do you have? What areas or what ideas do you have for the committee? Are you interested in participating in the communications committee? I know I've seen a couple of you at marketing specific roundtables previously, so I do think that your input would be very valued. So I'll leave it. I'll pose those questions first, I guess I should say.
I have something to add just to kind of maybe spark some conversation. We would love to have somebody, especially on Instagram, who can make things look very cohesive. So that way it's not like we have random colors kind of going. Sometimes it's kind of difficult just because of the way the communication kind of comes down. But if someone has that skill set to really make everything look really nice, that would be awesome and great. So if that's you, please contact Daniel ASAP.
Or if you have a question or statement, you could also share that in the chat. Jade, I know I've seen you before, and I hate to pick on you. I know I've seen you at a marketing roundtable previously. If you wouldn't mind, could you tell us about where you're at and maybe your thoughts currently on promoting realistically this semester? Has there been any success that you've had? Anything along those lines?
Let's see. Hi everybody again. Yeah, I do remember you from last year. That was my first conference too. So yeah.
Yep.
This semester, what have we done? It's definitely been a learning process for us for sure. We've kind of just been trying to be more, I guess, like available and responsive on social media, even though it's still been hard to do
Mhm.
so. Trying to think of what else we've done. We've done some, I think during the summer we did a, what do you call that? Like, trying to look for it now. During the summer we kind of conducted one of those kind of like brackets that we did on social media. So we did that on Twitter and we did it in Instagram story. So that was fun. We got a lot of engagement from that. We've also been trying to kind of do more, I guess, like some more interesting posts as well. So I feel like we've still been learning how to do it and what to do at this point.
Cool. I think we're all facing similar challenges
Mhm.
on our campus as well as at the regional level. I know we've pivoted our approaches where we were trying to send a lot of content to the website. It wasn't getting a lot of clicks. At that point, we just started saying, you know what, we'll just post the video straight on our socials, and then that's increased viewership and items like that. So, and I apologize. Maybe I could ask this a little bit differently. Um, out of regional members, is there an area that you may believe our committee is lacking in? Is there something that you would like to see from our group? What specific content do you hope to see out of coming from the region? I know sometimes when you get stuff from the national level, it doesn't always apply to you specifically. It kind of seems to be a lot. At the regional level, what can we better do to provide you with information that you would like to see?
And I'll kind of piggyback on that for Daniel. I think one of the things that we've been given the green light on is that full creative freedom to create really original content. You know, having looked at newsletters from regions or their websites, it's a lot of, like Daniel said, that NERSA HQ level feedback or knowledge or information and just kind of regurgitated. And while, you know, at least from a newsletter perspective or some of the posts on our website, we do incorporate some of that stuff, but we've been given the green light to really create some original content, which, you know, we've done with the conversation series, you know, Joanna and are doing with our Instagram as well, creating that original content. Because, I spoke about it in my session this morning, it's regionalizing the information and making content that's going to be most relevant to our region membership. So if kind of, again, to phrase the question differently, what can we do to continue to highlight the good work and the good people that are in Region 4?
Hey, this is John from LSU. How's everyone doing? Just an idea. I know I work with Jade. One of the things we always talk about is storytelling. I think maybe trying to find stories within the region of how you got to where you are, how nurses help propel you to where you are. Maybe that's part of the conversation series that you're talking about. Making, highlighting somebody within our, whether it's a student or a professional staff, somebody each month or every other month who's maybe played a part in NERSA one way or another. So I know Jade and I always talk about storytelling is a really important aspect in what we do. Whether that's video or some kind of slideshow on Instagram. Sounds like Instagram's a focus right now, or even just like stories. Because I imagine you could maybe do a takeover of some sort and let somebody have control of the account and kind of highlight them within the story somehow or another. So just throwing ideas, see if anything sticks or if anybody else wants to add on to that.
John, those are good ideas. Those are really good ideas.
And I think we did try to implement that a little bit with the Hispanic Heritage Month. Many times is, where was your mentor? What's the importance of, having a diverse culture in your campus rec entire staff? And we look to continue that. As Belinda can probably share, it was no easy task to align availabilities and items like that, but that is, you're 100% right. That's the direction we wish to continue going, video content, items like that. So.
And I agree with you. I think, always scheduling and aligning all those things, it could be a full-time job, right? So it's a big project to take on when you're trying to do it every month or have some kind of consistency in your story.
Well, it's funny, John, we have marketing professionals in our region, and the 6 of us on the committee, none of us have that back. I mean, I have an undergrad degree in mass communication, but as far as like it being my profession, it's certainly not. So we definitely acknowledge, and I think that's part of this call out session almost, is to try and get some of those marketing professionals interested to create, maybe to Joanne's point, a brand or that kind of consistent look. And I love the idea of the takeover. I, again, selfishly was asked to be a part of my alma mater's take over their Instagram account over the summer for Purdue Recwell. And I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing, totally self-serving, but I thought it was so cool to be a part of that. And, that was a topic or a suggestion that came up, I think, in our committee, as well as, maybe highlighting, a professional at a school that may not, a less big name school, just kind of highlighting some of those other non-traditional programs to drive some content and highlight the good work across our region. We see you, Jessica.
Yeah,
Appreciate
I
that.
apologize. I was about to.
No, you're good.
Jessica, with that, is there anything that you'd like to share or add to that? I mean, I hate to put you on the spot, but like I said, it's pretty open communication.
No, hello, Jessica Allen, Texas Southern University. I am the new promotions coordinator here at Texas Southern. I started off in rec sports and operations, and I've kind of had my hand in every department. So now I'm permanently here. So I've just really been getting more, it's more of a learning year for me with the social media and promotions and how everything is ran. So any challenges, we did participate in a few challenges during the summer with Princeton University, with other regions, but never with Region 4. I didn't even know we had a committee until I looked online and was going through our committees and saw that we had a communications committee. And I was like, wow, I want to be a part of it. I want to know what's going on in our region and staying up to date with new trends that we're having, because our social media was kind of lacking with networking with other campus recreation pages. So that was the first step for us, was getting connected with other campus recreations in the region, and then seeing what everyone else is doing and how can we use what they're utilizing for our page. So I think challenges is the best way to get our page out there, get more communication interactions with the students to see how we got started and how it's going for us. So I really love the idea. So whenever we get that up and going, I'm willing to participate. But it's nice to see you and meet all of you.
Definitely. Thank you, Jessica. I think I did have this listed later on the slides. I wanted to open it up to discussion first, but I have shared a link for just being interested and involved in the Region 4 Communications Committee. It's a struggle to say that a lot of times. So if you are interested, just so that way we have your contact info after this session, go ahead and fill that out. Like I said, our group is pretty small. We previously had one additional member, but due to commands, they just decided it's a tough semester for all of us, and we don't want to overload anyone's workload, because we all get priority number one is the job that pays, right? I mean, this is a volunteer position, but we do want good professionals within the region that can contribute and really continue to make our region great. So if you are interested, this is a long statement, but if you are interested, go ahead and fill out that Google Docs form, and then we can review it and begin contacting people and see how you can contribute. And we're always open to having additional members on our team. So if that's something that does interest you, Jessica, I mean, it sounds like you're interested, go ahead and fill it out. So Does anyone else have any ideas? I love the story idea. I think we could take that a lot of different avenues. And I think with that could also be, what ideas do you have for story questions? It's not just going to be, tell us about how you got into Campus Rec, because a lot of times we see a lot of similar stories on that. But is there anything that might interest you, or any, what's the word I'm looking for? Specific areas about stories that you'd like to hear, anything like that?
When we were talking about stories, are we referring to like how Campus Rec has changed our lives, or like how it's impacted us? Okay. Yes, I really do like that.
It could go a lot of different directions as well. We have explored additional heritage months, and highlighting additional professionals that, similar to the Hispanic heritage, continuing that when that specific month comes. It would obviously take a little bit of work on our end to prepare for that, but I think we're all losing our hairlines right now, because we're just waiting to get to Thanksgiving, right? So committee, do you guys have any additional questions? Anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, I just posted it on the chat. The two questions was, is there something that we can do for intramurals and sport clubs? If you have any ideas to kind of shed some light for them. And then, should we do more fitness or wellness, or is there another topic that maybe we can hit that we haven't thought of?
Kind of jump on real quick. Just kind of going off of the committee perspective, I think it'd be beneficial at some point, whether it's the chairs and vice chairs of committees, or as many committee members as they can get together, but the committees to actually meet at some point, because I know for the fitness and wellness committee, we're kind of just operating in isolation right now, and I think the same for a lot of the other committees, that this is such a new entity for each of us, that we're trying to really feel it out and build it out right now. But a lot of us are kind of operating just on our own, so maybe connecting and figuring out a larger vision might help for you guys to understand where the other committees are trying to take their pathways. Yeah. And I know with Region 4, it's going to help, because hopefully in these committee meetings, they're kind of laying out some of their ideas, but it might better help with the direction for us to meet as committees and get a larger plan together. Separate to that, one other idea, kind of going off of the stories, similar what Daniel's done at ESU for the GA positions. It kind of shows like where they're at now. So potentially thinking, if you want a visual, I'm not a graphic designer, so I'm sure this is way more work than just me saying it here. But looking at, if you want to look at how people have been connected or been involved in the region, looking at creating a roadmap of those member spotlights or highlights, and you can directly show where they've been involved at, or where they went to school, did their undergrad, grad, and professional in the region, to show where that where those pathways go and where those crossroads go that might intersect with other spotlight members, and just show how well connected Region 4 can be, and how diverse it can be from the different positions in different states, and everything like that, that we're able to cross over and interact with.
Thanks, Jamie. I think the members on the move, that's been something that's been on our radar for a little while. We haven't really gotten that down 100% yet. Welcoming new members, thanking them for those members that are leaving the region, thanking them for their time in the region, because they probably contributed at some capacity in sessions like this. So I agree, the map, I mean, obviously I made the map, so I like it, but I agree with you on that. I guess a question I have for you all, what did you hope to gain from participating in this roundtable? Did you believe it was going to be a marketing roundtable in itself? Because I think we can also open that up and begin those discussions, because then, I mean, our committee can just benefit from that as well. So I apologize if that was the original intention. We were just trying to maybe pick some ideas from you all, see what we can do better. But I think with that comes you all discussing what you're doing on your campuses successfully. So I'll even open that question up as well. I hate Zoom meetings, I tell you what. I'll say it. Hey, John.
Hey, just sharing what we did. I'm not a graphic designer either, but we used more pictures instead of graphics on our Instagram, and we've seen, especially on Instagram, a lot more people following us than when we just put intramurals, sign up for basketball Tuesday. It's just graphics. If we have a Wichita State student participating, so we've used more pictures than we have graphics, and so I just wanted to share that since you asked to share something out. But,
Yeah.
And also catches my eye. So if you do something on your regional side as well, maybe think of pictures instead of graphics, something actiony.
Yeah.
I think also to kind of roll off what John was saying, that pictures really do help a lot, because I notice on our social media when we post graphics versus when we post like actual pictures or pictures that we kind of like edit a little bit to fit our branding, they definitely get way more likes, especially when it's something interesting, something that's coming up, or something that's maybe been done in the past, and be like, hey, like you can be at this too, join us now, and people will definitely be more attracted to that.
Jade, you're at LSU, is that correct?
Yes, I'm at LSU.
Okay.
I forgot to say that earlier.
No worries. John, Jade, I got to give you guys compliments. When I look at your Instagram, it's strong. And I'm not downplaying anyone else's Instagram, but I'm just giving a compliment when it's really great. The efforts, my question would be, how long are you spending on graphic designers on that time to make it look and really emphasize that purple, emphasize the LSU? Is it gold technically, yellow? I don't even technically know the color, but I guess I'm interested on that, because it is, I mean, it's nice.
Well, thank you. Well, we definitely have some talented students who helped out with coming up with the idea as well. So it was a lot of brainstorming with it, and then we kind of found out an easier way to do it. So we usually edit our photos in Photoshop,
Mm-hmm.
and we just basically accentuate the purples in the photos, and then sometimes, depending on how the photo is, we usually try to use more purple heavy photos, but sometimes we might use more like gold heavy, so we just accentuate the main color.
Yeah.
So it really takes to edit it maybe like 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, I will share, I mean, NERSA has shared a brand standard with our committee, and I am by no means, I mean, I can navigate Photoshop, but I'm not, I'm no expert. Let's leave it at that. So, there's probably still some inconsistencies within that. If anyone has experience, I mean, I think that's one area that we're lacking in a lot. And if you do have experience in that, I mean, we'd be definitely open to that. So it'd be greatly appreciated. It's a resume piece as well. That's my pitch, I guess, but.
I have a question. So in order to get these pictures, would we have people send us pictures, or how would we get those pictures? Does that make sense? To make sure that we're getting people from different schools and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's another challenge that we face. We're talking about a committee that has members in multiple states, and then where do we get our photos from? And it's tough to get someone to fill out a form. I mean, that's just honest as well. It's a challenge. Jeremy?
Yeah, I know one of the things with as I got in kind of those later episodes of the COVID conversation series and kind of trying to improve the web page post, as I was scrolling through like LSU social media's one, Arkansas, I kind of went to wanted to use their content. So for me, it was just reaching out. It's like sending a DM like, hey, this is great. Do I have permission to use it on our webpage? So again, kind of what I think going back to our original purpose of highlighting and sharing content that our membership is doing, why I like on the one hand doing original content, but let's also utilize and highlight content that's already being created. And just kind of reaching out, asking permission, sliding into DMs, if you want to say it that way, to share that content.
Hi, I'm Macy. I work with Jeremy at KU. I'm the marketing coordinator. I think that is a great idea. Not reinventing the wheel. If someone in our network in Region 4 has some really great content, either just asking if we can share that, or even asking how they executed a campaign or something so that Region 4 can do that for our own content. I also had a question, a challenge that I'm facing for Instagram right now. We obviously, like all of you, I'm sure, have mask mandates happening in our buildings. And one challenge I'm having with posting photos of people is we don't want people thinking we're not using masks at all, because a lot of our photos are from before COVID. So then it's like, I don't know, it's hard to go up to people who are working out and say, can I take your picture of you all sweaty in your mask? So I would love to hear about anyone's experience overcoming this so they can get relevant photos for social media or their website or anything, how you're all tackling the changes.
So at Texas Tech, we are doing photo shoots for our new wellness website that we're creating and our new wellness program. And unfortunately, yes, all the pictures have their masks on because it's that perception. You don't want the university to notice this and say, oh, you are not practicing social distancing. So that's kind of like, that's just the way it is. So what we're doing is we are taking some pictures without the mask, still 6 feet apart, and we're just kind of keeping those photos for backup for later on in the future, once hopefully this COVID thing kind of goes over. So that's kind of how we're handling that situation. But honestly, you want those pictures to show the mask right now for you, for your university,
right,
for your programs. You just, yeah.
Well, yes, and I do want that. So my question was just, how are you guys getting the photos? Just because it's hard to go up to people who are already not happy that they have to wear a mask all the time and ask for photos. So, but having a separate photo shoot, that's a good idea. So.
Yeah, and sometimes you just offer them something for free, a water bottle, a t-shirt.
Right.
Say, hey, can you please just pose for this picture? And that's kind of how we go with it. But yeah, we do a separate little photo shoot, just handpick people, or we just, hey, who wants to be in a photo shoot? And people just kind of come and do it. So awesome. They'll get copies of the pictures, and of course they want it posted on their social media, which is good.
Right.
So
right. Thank you. And I apologize, I'm not on camera. I'm on a computer without a camera on it. So I'm nodding and interacting with you, but you can't see me. So
no worries, Macy. I will say ESU is doing the same thing. They're setting up, they've reached out to us about getting student staff that are already getting paid. And seeing if they could, and it's like give them a Starbucks drink or something, and give them caffeine and it's food or, something free. They're going to sign up. So.
Right. Awesome. Thank you.
I think it's kind of relevant to have masks on because I think it shows that you're being active with your members right now. I know at LSU, we actually have some policies I'll share from our campus communicators, from our StratCom. Where it's kind of a requirement that any photography or any video right now, when there's more than 1 or 2 people in there, have to have a mask on. So for our team, from the leadership side, for John and Jake, we tell our students if you're getting pictures, they have to have a mask on. And so if you look at that link, there's a video production, there's photography, web, social, and it all kind of talks about, what B-roll you're producing, making sure people have masks. So for us, it's relevant and important for us to show people participating, sweaty, on a cycle. I think we just posted something about an upcoming cycle through the decades where the instructor is wearing the masks. So I think it's okay to ask, Macy. Puts you out of your comfort zone a little bit. It's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes, right?
Yeah, thank you. I'm unfortunately, it's not, usually I'm asking my students to ask students, and that's where the kind of the polling, students are struggling telling each other to wear their masks and everything. But yeah, I think that with my students, setting up a photo shoot will be really good. Or even just asking while they're working out too.
I guess I'll ask the question again. I think maybe now we've got the snowball rolling, hopefully a little bit better. What has been a successful strategy? I know we discussed stories already, but has there been anything else that has led to a lot of engagement? I hate to beat a dead horse, but I'm trying to maybe see if there's anything else that you marketers have found successful.
Something that I haven't seen much with Campus Rec yet, but I know just with my knowledge of social media that when a platform rolls out a new feature, like Reels on Instagram, they are more likely to push out people who make Reels, no matter how large or small their account is. So I think just finding ways to incorporate that into all of our social media or the Region 4 social media will be a big boost for anyone who gets in on that early. And it doesn't just have to be like TikTok dances or anything. You can really find your niche with stuff like that and use it to educate, but also have fun. So that's something I'm trying to explore myself over here at KU.
Thank you, Macy. John, I think I saw you hopped on or unmuted yourself maybe once.
Yeah, I don't know if it was said, but we've been playing with getting Instagram champions, like sororities and fraternities, a couple people that will just post things and tag our account and those type of thing, and maybe give them a t-shirt if they do so many type of things. We haven't done this, but somebody suggested that we have an Instagram wall in our building with Campus Rec, Wichita State, and just trying to bring different people into our social media that would normally see the pictures. So those are a few things. Yeah, somebody said selfie wall. So we haven't put one in, but we're figuring out what we could do with that.
We are working on a selfie wall as well, but just a warning, I think it's the fire marshal in on it early, and don't pick a wall with a fire pole on it, fire alarm pole on it. That's our holdup over here. So, but really fun idea. I hope that someday ours gets to go up.
Last semester before COVID, I don't know if we could do it now because of chalk and sharing things. We had like a square box on wheels made, and we painted it with chalkboard paint, and it created kind of this like interactive area that people could write things, and you can paint, something about, how are you being active today, and then kind of before I die, I'm going to. Have you ever seen those chalkboards? So we had like before I graduate, I'm going to, and people could go in there and write whatever they were going to do. So in addition to like a selfie wall, that's kind of interactive, you could also make some kind of chalkboard wall. We put it on wheels, so we moved it to different parts of the facility if we wanted. And Stratcom actually stole it, borrowed it from us once, and took it on campus. And kind of was great because you can paint over the paint and change your artboard however you want. So just as we're talking about interactive things, thought I'd share that with your ideas.
Brought up a good question or maybe not a good question, but a question for me. For those who do manage, your department's social media accounts, what's a good strategy as far as like getting comments or engagement in that regard? Because when NERSA had the 21-day social justice behavior change, right? We created, shared some of those posts on our Facebook page and just trying to pose a question like, well, how are you doing this? Or how does this impact you? Just to try to generate that engagement. So maybe from our marketing professionals, what are some good suggestions for us non-marketing professionals to create that engagement from followers? Or is that the big question for everyone, right?
I feel like same. We still been struggling with trying to figure out how to engage more, but I think polls have helped us a lot, and also just doing like little games like, can you find this item? Or we also did something along the lines of, if you find we have like a little stuffed Mike the Tiger that we did like a little social media hide and seek game. So we'll be like, okay, find Mike the Tiger, you can get a t-shirt. And that brought a lot of engagement, a lot of quick engagement. So
at my previous position, I worked at an agency, and we did we did a campaign for the Kansas lottery, and we hid a little leprechaun, or we photoshopped him in front of like the Capitol building, or in like getting into trouble at the office of the Kansas lottery, kind of like an Elf on the Shelf, but like a leprechaun in the office. And yeah, that was a lot of fun and a big success. And I also think that engaging with others tends to come around and create more engagement for you. It just helps you with the algorithm. And also posting consistently. I've noticed for my own personal Instagram, when I am not lazy and post, every day or every couple days, I tend to see a lot more action on my account. So
yeah, I always like when I see like fast food chains or athletic teams like responding to each other. So it'd be cool if departmental accounts are kind of responding and kind of engaging with each other. I think that's people who are clever and funny,
or even just sharing each other's posts on on the stories of each other's stuff, driving traffic to each other.
Does anyone else have any burning ideas that they think has been successful, or any questions that they have? And this isn't a thing that we got to stay the whole time. I mean, for heaven's sake. So if we've reached our capacity, I mean, I think we've gotten some notes. Hopefully, some interested individuals as well for joining the committee. But does anyone have anything they'd like to add to the discussion? Hearing none, I told myself I need to get better at the awkward pause without jumping in too quickly for Zoom. But thank you all for participating. It truly was greatly appreciated. We do look forward to possibly having a couple of you a part of our team in the future. We hope that even though this wasn't a marketing roundtable specifically, that we were all able to learn a little bit from each other, because realistically, that is this committee's goal. Thank you to everyone that just participating in the conference in general. I think given our times, it's been a great week so far. So thank you all. Stay healthy, stay warm for those of you that are getting ice storms, and take care. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. It's just dfragel@emporia.edu. So we will post this probably on the YouTube account, but awesome, everyone. Thank you and have a great day.
See y'all. Take care.